spokesperson, and of course, police spokesperson, and Oguna, who is a government spokesperson. And we start by apologizing for keeping you. This was meant to happen at 12, but as you may be aware, we had an interministerial review meeting that stretched beyond the time we had estimated. First, I want to thank all of you for that patience, and also thank Kenyans in general for the enthusiasm they have shown in the last 2 nights that we have carried out this exercise. We have noticed a lot of enthusiasm and eagerness for Kenyans to be counted. In fact, most of the questions we are receiving is when shall the enumerators arrive in our household. So we thank all Kenyans for that. We also want to thank for the last 2 days. We know we have inconvenienced a lot of businesses. We had directed that all bars close at 5, and we are happy and grateful that the business community heeded to our call. But the good news is that today you can open at 5 and drink responsibly and ensure that you are counted. So the directive to close bars at 5 ended yesterday, and therefore what we can do as a government is to thank the business community for the understanding. And while I'm in the mood of thanking people, also thank the media, because we have seen a lot of coverage, we have seen a lot of positivity in this, and that is how our country will move forward in this very important exercise. We acknowledge that Day 2 has seen an improved pace compared to Day 1, but we are not yet there. And we know that a lot of Kenyans who have not been visited are thinking that this exercise is taking too long, is the case all the time when you are handling new gadgets, because this census is 100% digital. You pick pace with time, and we have seen that our enumerators with time have continued to pick pace. Consequently, so that we recover lost time, we have agreed as the interministerial committee that we will extend the working hours, especially in the urban areas where the populations are concentrated, from 6 a.m. To 10 p.m. And for avoidance of doubt, the urban areas I'm talking about Nairobi. So in Nairobi, we'll expect the counting to go on from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Nairobi, Mombasa, Nakuru, Eldoret, Kisumu, Kakamega, Nyeri, Kiambu, Thika, and Machakos. We'll expect in those, and Kisii, sorry. We'll expect in those 11 areas that the counting shall take place between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. In all other areas that have not been mentioned, we have also agreed to extend the enumeration period from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. And we also know that this is an exercise that runs between the night of 24th to 25th, which we have all marked as the reference night, all the way to 31st of August. So for those Kenyans who have not been counted or have not been visited, we are coming, and we have time. We have been able to add into the numbers because you are aware there are special enumerators who are doing areas like prisons, doing the street families, doing the our camps for police. All those who are over 10,000 enumerators have been called now to back up. So we expect that before 31st, each household will have been visited. We have also seen, regrettably, that there are Kenyans who are obstructing the work of our enumerators. We had, in the initial days, through our cabinet secretary, given assurance of the security provision for both the citizens and the enumerators. And as long as the enumerators are positively identified, it is actually against the law for anyone to stop them from doing their work. And as a result of this behavior that borders on criminality, the government, through the National Police Service, we have had 35 reported of such cases. Some of them are already in court. The others are being processed. I think we have 16 or 15 matters before court as we speak, and the others are being processed. We have also seen that some of our own officers are also hampering the smooth flow of this work, and consequently we also have some chiefs, some assistant chiefs, and some of our staff from Kenya National Bureau of Statistics who are either enumerators, supervisors, such, arrested, and they will face the full force of law. And because of our curiosity about everything as a country, we have also noted some trend where people are tempted to start cheating, tempted to start multiplying things. We just want to assure the country that this census is 100% digital. This census has foolproof method of knowing where there is manipulation of information. And it is good that for the remaining time, don't waste time trying to create things that don't exist, because we will know them. We have a foolproof method of doing that. And we will do that within the 3 months of post-enumeration processes that will eventually lead to the announcement of the census results. My exit is to assure Kenyans that we are doing well in this exercise. We will push every effort. We'll put every effort in place to ensure that our staff are faster than they have been, and to ensure that each and every Kenyan is enumerated before 31st of August this year. That's the brief that we have, and the assurance that we wanted to give. And because I want to be emphatic, I want to exit by reminding the people in the counties that are the towns that I've read, that when the enumerators come to your place at 10, government has allowed them to count people from 6 to 10 in those towns, and 6 to 9 p.m. for the rest of the country. I want to thank you very much. And let's take those 3. At my age, I can only record 3 at a time. The way we are carrying out this enumeration, we are using digital devices that are meant to transmit data when they go where they are able to. Before they do that, the data is resident in the device, and therefore the information continue coming. But as you are aware, inside whenever there is heating into our data center here, we do not unbundle the information about what was in the household, because that is a process that we will be able to do for 3 months after the enumeration period. So it would be very difficult to say what coverage there is. The only thing that we are able to know is visitation of the households, and the way we had mapped it is each of our enumerators at the end of this exercise must have visited 100 households. So it would be a lot of work then to check what how many households has each one of them gone. But on average, we are expecting that in the 7 days, they will be, they'll have visited 100 households each, which translates, of course, to around 14 households per day, which is very achievable, and I am sure that's what they are already doing. The other one is an unfortunate incident of one of our enumerators who was gang raped in Nyanza. And I think first it's good to set the records right. The criminal activity did not take place while the enumeration was taking place. So it's not like they went to a house to enumerate and the criminal activity took place. It took place after the enumerator had already been dropped after work. And what we as the Interior have directed is wherever they are hiding, we are going to get them and we are going to punish them for that criminal act. The last one is about the general security, not just in Baringo, but in the entire of the country during and even after this exercise. We will continue having some small challenges, but I'm sure incidents like this, there was another one that happened in Moyale that are really meant to it's not Moyale, Marsabit, that are really meant to disrupt the smooth flow of this enumeration exercise, being met with the full force of law by the National Police Service. So we want to assure Kenyans that whether it's in Baringo, whether it is in Marsabit, whether it's in Nairobi, we have all our enumerators accompanied by security agencies at all times. Yeah. Let me not take another one before I respond to that irresponsible last comment. We are here for census. Governor said we are friends, and we truly are, but that's not what brought us here. This is not a political activity. This is a process that's being carried by Kenya National Bureau of Statistics with the backup of all the agencies, and that's why you are seeing all the PSs here. Some are actually in the field. We are a big team of ministries who are actually helping that we get Kenyans enumerated. And I had said in my earlier statement that it is criminal for a citizen to bar the enumerators from carrying out their work as long as they have positively identified themselves, because we also don't want people to use this opportunity to do unfortunate things. And therefore, we will, of course, gain mileage if a lot of our VIPs and high-flying figures seem eager to get enumerated. The good news is the first night we had almost 100% coverage of the VIPs in our major towns. Can take another two?
Victor Kenani here.
Before I invite my colleague to answer on the security of data, the census period started 24th, 25th, and shall close on 31st of August. It is important that if you are in a place, and I think the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics had explained that earlier, we also become proactive. If you're in a place and you think you want to leave the house and you are seeing an enumerator, make a move. So the closing date is 31st August. P.S.
Rest assured that the data is secure, because we had actually taken into consideration all issues relating to data security. I'll tell you for sure we have 3 sites in which we are actually storing this data, and it is all replicated in the 3 sites. Worst case scenario is that even if we have an incident in one of the sites, there will be another site that will be able to pick up and transmission will still go on. So to give comfort, to reassure you, the issues relating to the security of the data is in place. We have put in proper backup measures, and actually rest assured that our data is very, very much safe, I think. And I know, for obvious reason, I know the next question would probably, we can't tell you the sites for security reasons, but rest assured, we have 3 sites that are actually replicating all this data as they come on.
One last, the ones feeding them, but that's how they say.
Question. I want to assure Kenyans that the money for the payments of all the census personnel has been budgeted for, and we are in the process of sending that money to the accounts. We have received the details of all the personnel we have engaged, and when they finish the exercise, that money will be sent to them. But we have made arrangement to send in 2 tranches. There will be the first one that will be sent, and then the final arrears will be sent when they complete the work, and we confirm that they have actually done the work they were trained to do. So all arrangements are there, so the money is there. What we can only appeal to them is for them to be patient, because all the money will actually be transmitted to the account. Thank you.
No enumerator needs to use his or her own money for data transmission. The SIM cards belong to us, and we've actually preloaded data bundles onto the SIM cards. So the issue of money to be put onto the SIM cards for communication does not arise at all. We have preloaded all those SIM cards with data bundles that we surely know they will need to enable them transmit data to us.
IEBC also planning to be using this information for boundary demarcation. How are you dealing with these all issues of the politics that this process has attracted as at now?
You know, the reference night for census was 24th, 25th night. So even if you move now to a new place, you ideally cannot be counted in that place, because in the reference night, you are elsewhere. You'll be counted where you are on the night of 24th, 25th, and it's important for Kenyans to know that. Number 2, as usual, when there are activities like this, there will always be that suspicion. Let me be counted at my home because of CDF. Let me be counted because I could be barred from being a voterlet. And of course, we will expect a bit of that. We cannot stop a Kenyan from moving. But I am saying the reference night for counting Kenyans is 24th, 25th. Any other movement that's taking place is immaterial, because it doesn't matter as long as you are not at that place on 24th, 25th. But like I said, we have a foolproof system that has been developed by our Ministry of ICT, and it will be very easy to pick out information that is inconsistent and deal with it accordingly.
I can also add something about traveling. People traveling to their rural areas to be counted. We know that one may have happened, but on Saturday, during the census night, 24th and 25th, even though, for example, you are traveling to Kakamega, but then the bus is stopped at Kenogi, then you are all enumerated, and you will be recorded that that's where you are enumerated. The same case applies to Mtito Wadei. Maybe you want to travel to Mombasa so that you can be enumerated there. When you arrive at Mtito Wadei, you are all enumerated from there. So your statistics will not be captured in Mombasa, but from where you are enumerated. The other thing that I like to emphasize about the use of the data for boundaries and what have you, that is actually true, because what Kenya National Bureau of Statistics does is actually to collect the statistics. Then, whether it is IEBC, whether it is the Ministry of Health, whether it is the Ministry of Agriculture, all that information now, that information has got many users, and we cannot restrict the use of that data. Thank you.
I think that marks the end of it. Tomorrow we have another update.